Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Today, as you all know, we are here to celebrate 25 years of Care First. Thank you, Mr. Lewis, Ms. Sandra, and the other Care First team who have joined us here. We also have the Pop family here with us from different regions. Now, more than ever, this planet needs Care First to move away from capitalist greed and adopt sustainability. To share the importance of today's event, I would like to invite our senior mentor, Dr. Ash Pachauri. Dr. Ash, over to you. Thank you, Mr. Lewis, Ms. Sandra.
Thank you, Komal. And I want to say how delighted I am to be together here today. It's a very, very special day as we celebrate Care First, the value and the principles that drive Care First, and Louis, Sandra, and the entire Care First family. I also want to say we'll have a chance to spend time today celebrating our coming together as a larger global family, as Care First and Pop, which is indeed a very, very special coming together. And the reason I say that, and I think we'll hear lots more as we go today, it's particularly special because this is a coming together of the values of caring first and doing what we do in terms of driving action, bringing young people, but all people really, together to protect our planet with the sentiments and the drive that allow us to depart from the many unfortunate situations and values that have driven us to this point. And as Einstein said, we can't do the same thing we do and expect a different result. So we can't keep doing the same thing we do and expect a different result. And I think the most important thing is that we're at a point where we realize we need to do things differently. And a lot of it is about what our core drive is. And I think Care First, Louis, you personify the values of bringing care to the forefront in all our words, our actions, our thoughts, our drive to make a difference, to make this world a better place, but very importantly, also leave all of us as living beings, as as those who are feeding off Mother Earth, who live off Mother Earth, left cared and nurtured. And I think that you in your words, in your actions, in your language, in your work, in your thoughts, really personify this value of Care First. And I think that this is, as Komal rightly underscored, the need of the hour. We really need to move away from the me at any cost, the gain that we all sort of have unfortunately strive for, profits, money, competition, to really about caring and sharing and collaborating and loving each other. And you really bring to the fore this very important value. And I just want to say the values are really what we stand for and who we are. And I think the coming together with young people, I hope also the Pop Academy as we go, because we're hoping to institutionalize these approaches, the principles and the values, so as to be able to come together as a global family we're so blessed to be, to protect our planet and all the wonder that it brings together for us to be able to celebrate, and I hope for many, many, many generations. So I just want to say that this is indeed a very special day. We celebrate 25 years and many, 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 many more, I'm sure. Wishing Care First a very happy birthday. Louis, Sandra, and the entire Care First family. Thank you for your wisdom, for your values, for all that you share, the love and the light. Karen, Tosho, Duran, Brian, each one of you, I just want you to know how much we love and we value everything you stand for. And I also want to say that the important thing is that you're amazing models. And, that's really what the world needs. We need models. We need people who exemplify these very values. And we're so blessed to be able to be in your midst. This is a very important milestone, and I know there'll be many more, but are coming together here today to celebrate you and everything that you've shared with the world and will continue to really, really counts. And I just want to say that we really deeply and profoundly, stand for the values that you continue to teach. And we hope that we'll have many generations that will closely embrace and hold close to their hearts and in every action the Care First principles. We'll hear more about the principles. I know Louis will walk us through them, but I just want to say it's important that we hold them close to our hearts. And as we touch lives of our brothers, our sisters, our family, and every species that we're so blessed to share this planet with, let's do it. And let's do it with that love and care first. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
And a very,
Dad.
very happy birthday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So to begin with, we would now like to invite Mr. Louis Bottling. Mr. Bottling, born in Netherlands, trained intuitive and psychic counselor, certified bookkeeper, workshop leader, and founder of World Finance Initiative and Care First World. Louis is the author of Dare to Care, a love-based foundation for money and finance, written in cooperation with Hazel Henderson, and of Care First, written in Dutch. It deeply embraces our personal transformation in relation to our money issues and advocates and embodies the deeply needed shift in the field of economics and finance. Lewis says, I truly believe care is the way forward as the primary action in all our dealings with money. We have created an international, all-generational Care First innovation network to build a world governed by Care First. A very warm welcome to you, sir.
Oh, you're not reading Sandra's bio also, or?
So I was thinking that we'll start with you and then I'll read Ms. Sandra's bio and we'll invite her.
Oh, okay. So, so for how long would you like me to speak? Because you put 20 minutes for me and Sandra.
Yeah, definitely. It would be a pleasure.
Yeah, because I also might engage Sandra in when I'm sharing.
Okay.
So
I'll read her bio.
Maybe read her bio, yeah, because then we always go together. We're always together, Sandra and I.
Yes, sir. Also, we have Miss Sandra Bottling with us. She's a wife of Mr. Louis Bottling. When she was 17, she started to recognize how inner listening worked. She knew that seeing, feeling, and knowing were innately built in us all as part of our sensitive nature. As she learned more about this part of herself, she realized her school years and her home life had not created at all for this super sensitive self. In fact, quite the reverse. Back in the early 70s, she felt so uplifted by this simple and natural way of working. She joined two groups of people practicing this development. She knew she was finding herself. In 1983, she met Louis, and as he had done a similar course, they were instantly capable of joining forces in assisting people who need guidance in all walks of life. They also ran small workshop group for people to build up trust and confidence in their in their own inner senses and to see how their inner concepts are so very personal to oneself. Also, how this helps to shape personality. Building this up gives them a unique style of life, unique style in life, and gives the right to use this uniqueness together with others' uniqueness as part of the picture puzzle of the whole. These skills lead them to know how Care First works. A very warm welcome to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Komal. So, well, welcome everyone. And actually, I was looking for, I told you the way that this started is because in the second meeting with the Pop family, where I shared about Care First, I talked about how Care First came to me at a healing center in Scotland with a piece of woodland behind it. So I actually will show you that. Just one moment. Just a moment. So this here is Mooling Cottage. And that is the woodland that was behind it. And so that the way that the story went with Care First, we had started our Scottish charitable company, World Finance Initiative, which was a charitable company that was looking at exploring the relationship between money and love for real. Well, as we started this company, Sandra and I already in our healing practice had been working with the application of money and love by saying our work is just our love. So if we do a session with a person, whether it takes 1 or 2 hours, we're not going to count the money. We just do the work. And then people who received the session were invited to make a contribution from their hearts, but be considerate of their own situation and of ours. So already their money was connected to budget, gratitude, and so on. And we had been working with that from the 90s onwards. And people were really, really happy with all that because they felt cared for and they could care for us, and money was becoming a real expression of the heart. I also was then the bookkeeper of World Finance Initiative, and to write the amounts in, £70 received from so-and-so was really lovely because the amount was given in love and gratitude. And then it's really nice to do bookkeeping. But as we started our charitable company, in that first year, we started in 1996. And in 97, we had 3 small financial crises, as if there was something to learn. And I think what we learned there is that the connection between money and love is really important, but it also needs the connection between money and care. So what happened here in September 1997, again, we were without a penny and I needed to do something. I needed to get money. So normally you go and work, but I was told inwardly, go and clear this woodland. This woodland here was a complete mess. All these trees were lying about, and the landlord already had said that I could clear the woodland and use it for the wood fire. So I began to clear the woodland. So while I was needing money, I was actually caring for the earth. But I was nervous because I knew I was not going to make any money with clearing that woodland. And this went on for 3 days. And in that period of 3 days, the whole inspiration of Care First came in. And the inspiration of Care First really was, when you look at money, always look at care. And ask yourself whether money is used in service of that care, in service of our values, our passion, and everything we love, or whether money is used at the expense, money first. So I did this for 3 days, and then, of course, still worried about the money. But at the end of the 3rd day, a letter arrived in the post with a big check of somebody that Sandra and I had helped, maybe a month before that, when he had no money. But he was so grateful. And with all that money that I received, I could then travel south. And from the moment that we received Care First, we've never had financial issues again. So this is where the healing center was. This is Loch Brore. We lived close by to there. And here you see a picture of friends of ours at that time. They all know about Care First. So it was in the 90s. So yeah, I mean, I think when the inspiration of Care First came, already then I thought, this is going to have impact. And I think I felt that why it was maybe so powerful, because it is such a simple phrase. My friend Steve Schueth, that most of you have met, I think, in POP, who's been working in socially responsible investing since the 80s, he always feels that Care First for him is the clearest guideline. Clearer than impact investing, clearer than sustainability even. It directs our behavior, and not just the flow of money, but it directs everything. When you say care first, in any situation, you're asked to care. You stimulate each other to care. And the great thing about care is you can't really fool each other. So if Ivan says to me, I care for so-and-so, and he doesn't, I can see that. So Care First was born. In the 90s, I developed a vision for a love-based economy and a Care First world, connected all the use of money to the heart, and people loved that. But they were thinking, how can we make that real in our lives? And what happened then in 2004, the inspiration came to me for Meeting the Mystery of Money. That, of course, you also have seen in the program. Ash and Michelle Whiting have done the workshop. And out of the first 2 sessions with the POP members, we already came to the idea of opening Meeting the Mystery of Money to the POP mentors first, and then to everybody else. And I think, I don't know if you want to say something about it, Ivan, but I think you already were feeling that doing that workshop is a really good tool to assist you with practicing your project. I also think that where Care First can also really help is raising the money for the work. Because we have to get more power under that money need. And so, like I have shared with so many of you, coming in contact with the POP movement and also with the Global Regeneration Corps of Jim Garrison from Humanity Rising, who is also focusing on giving all the energy, or so much of the energy, to the younger generations. When I met both organizations, July last year, I just sort of burst open. I really felt that I could give all my energy till the moment that I pass over to assisting the younger generations to have a planet to live on. I think maybe what I'll do now is I'll just share those Care First principles. Ash was so enthusiastic about them, and Ivan too. So I'll just read them to you. These we created 5 years ago with the idea that if somebody works in their busy office in Washington and wants to apply Care First on a daily basis, is there something you can say to yourself to give yourself the energy in a busy, difficult day? So we came up with this, things that we can speak. All my financial transactions are a manifestation of care first consciousness. I use money to care for myself, for others, and the earth. I trust in myself, others, and life as it guides me. I share myself openly and acknowledge my vulnerability. I listen to the needs and desires of all concerned, including my own. I treat others and myself fairly and equitably. I invite win-win outcomes. I integrate, apply, and communicate the message of care first on a daily basis. I actively build a care first world together with others. I'm comfortable and confident to initiate and lead. My use of money is an expression of who I am. All true abundance comes from my spirit. So yeah, with meeting the mystery of money, that really is a very good tool. When you do meeting the mystery of money, you're invited to be with your relationship to money for 3 days on all levels of yourself, in your fear, in your conditioning, in your heart, in your higher self. And it's a process of really learning to practice care first in your life. So we also had a Pop and Care First gathering for the Global Youth Assembly 2021. And one of the actionable steps that we created was this. So these are actionable steps we were asked to create that go to the United Nations as what Pop and Care First want to do, to train the Pop mentors about Care First approach, insight, and knowledge in order to spread that insight in the mentees and their projects. So normally the workshop gets done for 6 people. I'm now trying to see how we can do it with 12 and then maybe 24. And Ahit and I have been talking about maybe doing a workshop 15 to 17 of October. We can talk about it more. And of course, I want to speak more with Ash and more with Michelle. The whole idea with the workshop, if you guys begin to like it, then you can start to give it yourself. I can train everybody. And it's really great fun doing this workshop because you can play archetypes, you can wear masks. Anybody can be the god of money, the goddess of abundance, a community keeper, a condor, an eagle. It's great fun and it goes very deep. So yeah, I think with that, is there anything, dear Sandra, that you would like to share about our life with Care First, Mooling Cottage, Money and Love, or do you just want to smile?
Hi, everybody. Lovely to see you all, hear you, and to be present on this super occasion. Yeah. Well, talking about Mooling Cottage and having to tidy up the woodland, you missed a vital point that although you weren't earning money with that particular job, being super inspired, of course, was key, but you forgot to mention that you manifested this beautiful amount of wood, the gift from the earth, which meant that we didn't have to go buy it somewhere else. You tidied up a piece of earth and manifested heat for the little cottage. So I just wanted to add that in. And I think that's how Care First works. It's looking for not just what you do, but what happens when you don't do. What actually begins to manifest by itself when you're in the right place inside. And I think that's what I'm trying to learn with finding my heart. It's not that I'm lost, but you could say I'm quite lost because I don't have a full experience in my heart, that's what I'm trying to manifest at the moment. I'm trying to manifest a care first feeling for me. So I'm very good at being interested in other people and wanting to help and guide things. But there's a missing key inside of here. So I think it's my particular moment in this crisis time, in this time of great urgency, to land completely in the right manifestation place inside of myself, because then I will have a much broader capacity to care first for every single aspect that needs that crucial consideration, you know, whether it's the planet, whether it's one of us sitting here, whether it's my neighbor down the road. It really, really needs that heartfelt capacity. So that's my vision, that's my dream, that's my work, to land completely inside the heart without any fault further on.
Well, thank you so much, Sandra. And I think that when we had the Global Youth Assembly, I was in the group with Nahid, and she was asking a little bit, so, you know, care first and climate change. What can it do? Well, I said, Nahid, most of the problems that we have with the climate have been caused by money first. Almost all of it. So applying care first is the obvious thing to do. But the important thing with care first is that we tackle that money first behavior in all of us and in the world. Not by being too aggressive, but confronting actions with money that really are destroying this planet. And so if we can all go through this money care first transformation inside of our own lives, then we become the examples that Ash talks about. And thank you, Ash, for everything that you're sharing. So what Sandra says about heart, when Ash and I meet, I just think it's heart, 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 heart. I've spoken.
Thank you so much, Mr. Louis, and thank you so much, ma'am. It's so nice to meet you. Now I wanted to introduce you to the whole family, and I wanted to ask, do you have any questions for Mr. Louis and ma'am? Ivan, Kevin, the family? We have gathered many times now, and I don't think there are many of questions, but yeah, please, Ivan, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Nahid, and congratulations for today, for reaching at this point, and for being of this huge help and contribution to the world. This is the kind of organizations that keeps the world in the right track, or that is returning it to it. And well, my question is, well, there are many interesting and great experiences when carrying this kind of organizations, this kind of initiatives. So what was your heaviest or most challenging parts after you received that that money that you were telling us about when you were clearing the woods? So what was the second or after that, the point that you were struggling the most, and how did you overcome it? Thank you.
Well, thank you, Ivan. I mean, in a strange kind of way, it has only helped me. That's the weird thing. Care first, as soon as you say it, you pull in the strength of yourself. So care first has only helped me to tackle difficult issues. And Sandra and I have really lived on the line, also financially. I always used to say to people, if you can't create from zero, from having no money, you don't know what creation is. So Sandra and I have really challenged our fears. We can do this workshop because we know what it is to have nothing and still need to be able to manifest it. So you see, and the other thing was that when I received the Care First experience, I already had made a shift inside of myself from fear to love. So I started this whole thing because I could be so strongly in my heart and look at every financial transaction from my heart and ask, does the action start with love, end with love, and does it walk the path of love? So my challenge really was the shift from fear to love. And that's what you see happening in the workshop. Also, when people meet the God of money, the God of money will ask you, which of these 5 forces do you want to explore? Fear, greed, selfishness, possessiveness, desire for power. Almost everybody says fear. So I think fear really is the challenge. And then needing to learn to trust. So, I feel it's really important that we can receive, can be conscious of the care that the father and the mother and the universe gives to us, and learn to manifest through that inner connection. But we also need to apply the care in all social and economic systems. So trust in life is a really, really important thing, also for your projects. If you need to manifest money for projects, when you're lined up to the universe, there's an incredible amount that you can manage, that you can manifest. Together in the pop movement, we can create prayers to manifest the money needed, and it will help.
Could I respond
Thank you
to
so
you,
much.
please?
Yes?
I think my most difficult moment was when one of those challenges came up. And it was very clear that Louis shouldn't take part because he's very clever at these kind of things. So it left myself and the other 2 ladies in the house with me to organize this. Well, I was completely frozen. I had no idea how you manifest money. So at some point, Louis said, well, you've got lots of friends, haven't you? I didn't know that I had lots of friends. I know a lot of people, and they are all my friends. But it never would have dawned on me that you can go and ask somebody, is there a way that you could help us? That was my initiation, you might say, into how to be with people. We're all there to help each other. And you can ask someone to help mow your lawn or wash up or, drive you somewhere. But can you ask for help with money? That was completely taboo. So, of course, when I started to ask and tell the situation, do you have any ideas? Well, everything happened, but that was people. That was all of us together doing that. Yeah.
Thank you, Sandra.
Thank you so much.
So Kevin also wanted to ask something, Naid?
Yeah, Kevin, please go ahead.
Thank you. It's somehow linked with a question from Ivan. Well, first of all, 25 years, wow. I was a child when you created Purpose. So congratulations. Which is kind of cool because if I was a child and I'm linked today with you, how is life connecting everyone us together? It's really cool. So my question is, at the moment that you came up with this idea of Caring First, life was pressuring you. The reality, the need of money was, the urgency of need of money was pressuring you so hard. So how you managed to take this away from all your stress? Because I think most of us have gone through this moment when need of urgency of money is so intense that some get sick, some get to do some bad things like stealing and everything. But you managed to take this away and focusing on career first, and it's like you find a key of life. and it's not easy. But how you manage to do this, to take that away from the stress and all the pressure, and just caring first?
Well, Kevin, that's an absolutely brilliant question. Bless your heart. Again, building up that mechanism, the workshop assists there. What it is how much can you actually be in your heart while the fear is all around you, and connect to your inner guidance. Now, like Sandra was saying, Sandra and I both have been trained in what you call your sensitive psychic nature. So we have been assisting people by tuning in to what we call the higher levels. So when Sandra and I deal with any difficult situation and any pain, we can stop and tune in. And then we make contact with these higher levels. So that is natural in us. So when difficulties are going on, also in our relationship, we constantly work inwardly. So because we're really grounded there, really can receive, I could receive the energy of care first. It was just that while I was nervous, Kevin, the inflow of care first, the energy that was coming in was so strong that I could follow it. And I could just walk with it. I mean, I cleared hundreds of trees. But I was constantly moved by the energy. So I could trust my inner core. And I think that where meeting the mystery of money can really help is that we are not in an easy world, but to strengthen that inner resourcefulness, heart power, and trust in yourself, not to feel victimized by that money world, but knowing that we can create everything we want. The workshop really, really helps with that. Does that answer help you?
Thank you very much. Beautiful answer.
Ms. Sandra, would you like to add anything to that response?
I had the feeling that care first wants to embrace the fear and the pain. So it isn't just a matter of getting beyond it to something better. I feel that the pain is also a friend. And when we can embrace it and talk about it and understand what it is that's going on, what are we afraid of? What have we been attacked by? What world doesn't love us? And how do we not love ourselves? You're already linking into a much broader concept about yourself, about your heart, about your real nature. So we've all got pain and disappointment, but they are there to strengthen and help us. So I think we have to look how all of it is a part of our real beauty. Over.
And one thing, Nahid, and that is because Ash and I have been talking about the Pop Academy. I think that what Sandra and I can bring, or naturally bring, is we're really accustomed to strengthen that inner part. So we can assist you to experience it, but also like we do what we call personal key sessions to make the workings of your heart intelligence more conscious. And that is something that happens in meeting the mystery of money, but it is also something that we can work on, and that just strengthens that heart, strengthens that real self.
That's a wonderful idea. And I know for sure that it will work and it would be an amazing initiative. So we so appreciate it. Now I would like to hand it over to Dr. Ash and Dr. Norma to take to take the further conversation.
Thank you. This has been like every other beautiful and blessed interaction. This has been so special, and so meaningful in the deepest, most profound way. And so I just want to say thank you so much for sharing this story, for sharing with us the insights. And I really do believe, Louis, Sandra, all that you just shared, I think that it is about going away from that adversity, um, and sort of delving inward to tap into our inner selves and help in manifesting. And I think so much of all that we are able to do with our lives and see and share with the rest of the world on the outside too is dependent upon that. And I just want to say that, listening to you, learning from your wisdom and your values and your experiences is truly a blessing. I don't know how many people, I'm sure in 25 years, many, many, many people have been so blessed to be able to learn from you. But I think as I look ahead, I'm thinking of the many 25 years that we'll celebrate together, will be so meaningful as we come together as a larger family, a Care First Pop family, where we can touch the lives of young people and many generations to come. So, I think one of the reasons we work very closely with young people, certainly on the issue of climate change, is because we know that the young generation is will be most impacted, and actually is already being impacted. All of us are being impacted, but the new generations are going to be impacted most by the impacts of climate change. But I think we know that young people have the ability to influence change at many levels in the community, at home, in schools, in institutions. And I think this has, this coming together with Care First in the pop movement is particularly significant and meaningful because I know those values and those principles will be embraced by many more as you share your guidance and your love and your light with young people. So I just want to say this partnership, as we celebrate 25 years of Care First, is also another very important milestone as we announce today formally. Though I agree with you, Louis, it's love and more love. We're already together in the most meaningful, most deep, and everything that's significant ways. So we're already one unit, but I think this coming together is really meaningful because I know many generations to come will be influenced by the important values and principles. And thank you for sharing the principles with us. We hold them close. And I know many more will. So this is indeed a special day for so many beautiful reasons. And I also want to say to the Pop family, each one of you is so, so, so special. I know your hearts and your minds and your souls echo these values, and I hear it in your voices as you talk to many more young people and many partners. I hear it in your voices as you do the amazing things you do and lead action to protect our planet. I hear it in your heartbeat as we get to be together. Sometimes we don't have an opportunity to speak to each other, but I can hear it and I can feel it. So I just want to say it's, each one of you is so, so, so special. And this partnership and this coming together is meaningful for us as we, are guided with even more love and light. And I know that everything you touch will turn to the most beautiful, loving, and lasting results. So with that, I just want to say our coming together to protect our planet with love and care first means everything. Thank you for your beautiful hearts. Thank you for your nurturing. Thank you for your values, wisdom, and voices. I love you all. Thank you. And this is truly special. I'm going to hand over to Dr. Norma for the gratitude.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Well, yes, we are very happy. Thank you, Dr. Ash, for your words. Thank you, Louis. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you, the family for Care First and the family also. What I want to say is, for me, was since the beginning of the talks that we had with Louis, a difference in the way that we are facing our problems, not only the environmental problems, but also the personal vision that we had before, to hear Louis so enthusiastic speech all the time and so happy always, that even if Pop and Care First share almost the same values and principles, I think that they are complementary to face life, to see a new life, a new way to think about life, to face our problems. And that is very important. For me, what I get from this partnership that is very important for us is that you need to think first to be yourself in peace, to give love, to be ready to share with everybody what you have in a very good way, thinking always to help others. And that is very important, because not always you are thinking the same way. If you are not okay, if you don't feel safe, loved, and you don't feel that you can do something for others, it's very difficult really to react. And then that goes also to the care of the environment, because we are only one of the living creatures in the world. But I think that we need to go away and to go further and to go to see in nature that we are not the only one. As a human beings, we are reacting in a very bad way, and the climate change is one of the results of our bad behavior. Then, very happy to be with you, very happy to follow you. I'm very happy to share with you our thoughts. I think that they are wonderful. And it's the first time that I hear Sandra, but I think that even her voice is something like it keeps you very quiet, very easily. And yeah, that gives us the peace that we need, internal peace that we need, really to do good things and to continue in that way. Then in your birthday, your 25th birthday, thank you so much for this amazing meeting. And I think that we will go further and further every day. Thank you, Louis. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you, the Pop family and the Pop Care First. And now, Alliance. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you. Thank you, Kamal and Ahid, to bring us to this point also.
Ahid, could I say one thing about the partnership, just really briefly?
Yeah, of course, Mr.
You know, when you were talking, Ash, about, I don't know if you said it, being so honored or humbled to meet the Care First family. From the first moment that I was on a Zoom call with all of you, well, Norma is a lot older, but let's say a lot of you are very young. I felt so humbled to be with you. And I think that there's a deep mystery going on in our connection. Because when I now think of writing things, I've written a lot of things. I think of writing things so that you can learn. And it really inspires me. So there is something about us coming together that I think it can cause a revolution. A revolution, evolution, whatever you call it. Thank you, Nahid.
Thank you so much, Mr. Louis, Dr. Ash, and Dr. Norma for those wonderful words, and to bring this official partnership now out. So now we have a few members from the Care First family with us today, and we would now like to invite them to share their experiences. And for the special remarks, we have Karen McAllister, Marge Saunders, and Brian Good. So thank you so much. Would one of you prefer to take the lead right now?
Sure, I'll jump in. Yeah, I'm very excited that we're coming together, and I've been, I think back in the early 2000s, the community I belong to an intentional community where we put care first. But it wasn't always that way, because what I noticed is in our community there was a place where we were going bankrupt, and it was because of our mindset around money, right? And the mindset, especially with people who want to make difference in the world, there's a patterning of wanting to sort of distance themselves from money, because somehow money on some level is put in the evil category. Put in the category that somehow that if we embrace it on some level, that it will sort of make us inauthentic to our values, or it will diminish our values on some level. And so with my own community here, we started to clean up our relationship with money. And that was hard, because there was a lot of shame, there was a lot of fear, like Louis said. It was not about love. Love was here and money was here, right? And so over the last 16 years, it's been a very slow journey of bringing the heart and materialism together in a healthy way, that the money serves our vision and our mission and our hearts. And I would have to admit now today, because we have done that internal work that Louis and Sandra have been speaking about, that we actually had an AGM this year where we did a budget dance, where we all dressed up and we got some paper money and we all danced. And then, well, all the finance committee got up and they made all this paper money, and we danced up and down, and we had all these costumes, and we had a money dance. It's like the god of money, and all the characters and the Prince of Peace were all together. And so that is just a measure of our health around finances now, which is about joy, right? That we can actually have a budget meeting and bring in some creativity and some joy in our relationship with it, and turn those states of fear and greed to one of joy and clarity and a wakefulness, really wakefulness. And so I've been deeply passionate about, I was always wondering when we would turn to look within with a relationship with money, and not always focus on trying to fix things. A constant obsession to fix things in the external world at the expense of our hearts, So I've really just met Louis and Sandra over the last few years, and I'm deeply grateful. I think there's this new movement of connecting with the internal heart and the external doing, and it become less about obsession about doing and going more into balance with, hey heart, let's do the inner work now. It's time. It's really time. Yeah. And I'm pleased to say that we've been doing 16 years of eco-restoration on our land, which has been stolen and which we're guests of. And I recognize the Indigenous people who've been in this land before us. And a very beautiful measure of the success of the heart and putting money and the heart together has been an explosion this year of native plants on the property, and particularly the purple aster. It's a beautiful purple flower, and it used to be full of all these invasive species, and it's just everywhere. And that's of very hard work of every day picking up a weed whacker and just, oh, there's an invasive species. Okay, let's pick that, and boom, the soul is. And it just represents the virtues and manifesting in the external world, especially on the land. You know, so I just, sorry land, sorry Gaia for our greed and our fear and our aversions. And I'm looking forward to this collaboration, this partnership, this reciprocity, this beautiful generosity that is a training. It's a training of the heart together, right? So thank you, Ash, and thank you, Pop. I feel deeply grateful that we're connected.
Thank you so much, Ms. Karen, for those wonderful words. Now I wanted to ask if Mr. Moritz or Brian would like to say anything for the final remarks. Would you like to add anything?
Yes, Nahid, thank you very much. I'm really honored to be here again. Also, last week we had the pop-up meeting with regard to the Youth Assembly and the actionable steps. And I was just really touched by, experiencing the Pop family and the love and the mutual respect I just sense that you have for one another. So beautiful to see how you created that within the Pop family. Care First has been very dear to me for a couple of years. And I think I know Louis and Sandra for close to 10 years and intimately the past 5 years. And for me, Care First has always been about this inner movement of trying to discover where my and our inner strength lies. So Care First always starts for me with self-care. This question, am I good enough, has been one I've been wrestling with for a long time. I'm now 38, and I think up to my 30th birthday, I was kind of living just here, just living in my head, doing things, trying to get things done. And at some point I realized that this is not the way to go. This is costing me a lot of energy. And Louis and Sandra really opened up this new dimension of reality, of being human being. There's like a non-physical side to us human beings that you can get acquainted with, that you can get to know, that you can connect with and draw strength from in a much more powerful, effortless way, actually. And to investigate, like, how can the heart and the mind collaborate instead of just the mind dictating everything. And so that's been like my inner journey, and I feel very much strengthened by, self-care. Like, is it safe to care? Can I care for myself? That's like the inner work I'm doing. And can we care for one another? And from that, care for the planet as well. So I think I really feel it's an inner motion. It starts within, and then it comes out. And I think, Karen, what you've described is a beautiful example of that. How you do that. And now I have my youngest child asking for some attention, so I think I'll wrap it up for here. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, Mr. Brian, would you like to add anything else for the special remarks?
Yes, thank you, Nahid. And well, first of all, I'm very happy to be here with all of you. I like seeing all these new faces, new names. At least to me, they're new. And I've known Louis and Sandra for, I don't know, 15 or 20 years by now. And Louis is a very good friend. We used to walk. We had beautiful, wonderful talks, even when he comes, but it's been a while now. And like he said in the beginning, I have been the god of money for several times, which is an extremely rewarding and gratifying I would say role to play, but it's more than role play. It goes beyond role playing. It's the facilitators. We actually, there is a space that is created in the workshop, and which I personally experienced something so rewarding in the sense that we allow people to go deep within, as deep as possible, face whatever it is that they need to face. And as a god of money, I always felt it. And there is an extra element what I haven't heard yet, and it's something I'd like to give. It's something that I realize I also do when I actually am in the part of the god of money, but which I think is also an extremely important thing for care first, and that is forgiveness. You know, we have our fears. Many people we face our fears. We need to face our fears, like Sandra said. It's not necessarily just going beyond, but it helps you to go beyond. But you have to go through them. You have to face them. You have to embrace them. And one of the basic elements I believe I found in my life is forgiveness plays an important and very important role. And not only forgiveness for yourself, but all the things that we see happening around us, all the things that are bad for the earth, bad for our human fellow humans, whatever happens there, that money first stuff, it's like we always said, it's fear-based. And forgiveness plays an extremely important role, I think, in all of this, to help see that whatever is going on is a fear which needs to be addressed. And only if you can forgive, you can get to that point. You're able, at some point, to embrace your fellow human being who is not in a good place, does things that are detrimental, hurtful to the world. And only forgiveness will be able to embrace them at some point and allow them to come, and that will allow us to come together. And I think that's a very important, at least it's a very important element that I have experienced in my life. And I basically think of every day, more or less, sometimes more conscious, sometimes more subconsciously. But it's also something in the part when I am also in the role of the god of money. I actually do feel that sort of forgiveness, and it creates an extremely open space to invite my people, to invite the people, to invite the who's ever there. And it allows me, it helps me to stay away from judgments, which creates distance. And I don't want the distance, I think. And this is something that Care First does very well. And something that Louis and we talked about several times in the past, many times actually. And I'm very grateful for having Louis as a good friend. Thanks, Louis, for being here. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Mr. Brian, for those wonderful remarks. Now, for the closing of this session, I would like to ask Dr. Ash to say the closing remarks, please. Thank you so much.
Thank you for those beautiful words and reflections, all of you. I just want to acknowledge a couple of things that you just said. Moritz and also Brian, I think it's really important. I think forgiveness is indeed a part of self-care. And as they say, I mean, we're only in a place to give if we're full ourselves. And I think that self-care and that care for that inward, I know Sandra brought that up a few times, but the inward approach is so important, because only then are we in a place where we can give and give authentically. And I think this is a balance, and it's so important to be cognizant of it and be able to practice it. And indeed, I think that it's an important part of being able to manifest all that we want to be able to see in the world, that love and that care and that nurturing and the fullness as we step out into the world to take the actions we take to protect each other and protect all creatures we're blessed to be with, and our planet and Mother Earth and our global family. So thank you so much for those reflections. Thank you all for, being who you are, and thank you all for sharing. And I just want to say, Louis, indeed, it will be a movement. I think, the important thing is as we start to create the movement within, we are able to share the movement without outside of us. And I think as we start to implement workshops, as we start to exchange thoughts and practice and to much, much more, I know we will together, whether it's through the academy, through the many aspects of the work we'll do, the Meeting the Mystery of Money workshops. Michelle and I have been very fortunate to be able to attend already, but I know you're in the process of formulating up the permutations so we can take it out to the rest of the family. And I think that this will indeed propel a movement. And I think this coming together has already begun that movement. You began this movement 25 years ago, and we get to celebrate today, but our coming together just helps us strengthen this and take it out to many more generations and many more people around the world, for which we're very, very grateful. I want to thank you all for being here today. I want to thank you for being who you are. I want to thank you for your beautiful hearts. And I know that each one of you has your own, song and melody and music and rhythm and beat. And I just want you to know, as unique individuals, as souls, each one of us is different, and yet there's a coming together here that's creating this oneness. So I just want to say this is magical, and this is a meeting that may be mysterious as well, but it's a blessing. And I just want to thank each one of you for this meeting today and every day, but most importantly, the level at which we're able to meet, which is truly to come together. So thank you very much. I celebrate Care First every day. I celebrate you, Louis, Sandra, Brian, Karen. I know we had Duran and Tosho as well, who were not here just now. Moritz, Kevin, Komal, Normaji, Philo, Meghna, Michelle, Trisha, Vishnu, Anna, Edgar, Ale, Andres, Sam, I know who joined for a little while but lost connection, and many more who are not here with us. But I just want to say that I celebrate you every single day. Thank you. I continue to forever.
Nahid, can I say one more thing?
Of course, please go ahead, Mr. Louis.
So this is really interesting. With the workshop Meeting the Mystery of Money, we do it with 6 people. And when I think of doing it with 12 or 24, the 6 people, they meet the God of Money one-on-one. So a lot of the exercises you can do with 12 or 24, but just last night, I could see how we could do it in such a way that everybody could meet the God of Money properly. I won't say how that happens, but I feel that I've fallen into a role, into a motion, Ash, where I'm seeing myself creating this workshop in a certain way also for students or for an academy, gathering all the information, all the things that you realize in the workshop, have them written down in Google Forms so that we can all see what comes out of our experiences and learn to tackle these issues together. So I just wanted you to know I'm on the road to getting this done. And so I would love to talk with Ash, Michelle, Nahid, and others to see how we maybe can do this first workshop half of October with 12 POP members. And thank you, everybody.
That's a wonderful idea, Mr. Louis. And I just wanted to say that it's amazing and we're so grateful. And I'm looking forward to start planning those workshops. Now, please, Dr. Ash.
Thank you. Maybe for those who are able to switch on their camera, we can get a quick screen grab to get a picture together. And I just want to say love, care, hugs, blessings, and a big thank you. All my gratitude. Thank you. Thank you so much. A happy birthday.
Thank you, everyone. Okay, now we'll count to 3, I guess.
Okay, you do that.
1, 2, 3. Smile. Super.
Thank you. Happy birthday. Big hugs.
Thank you.
All my love. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.